Welcome back, Washed Up Walkons fans, to another episode of the podcast. It's number 86. And tonight I want to start it off with a little bit of gratitude. Just been feeling really grateful for what this podcast is, man, because we've been talking to each other and a lot of our friends now that some of the guys are done with football in the NFL, and things are coming to a little bit of a winding down process. And man, we've got our friends kind of lining up and texting us all the time about coming on the podcast. And I just think that's an awesome thing, because really what it is, it's an opportunity for us to take a moment out of our lives to sit down and talk to each other and have a great conversation, and for you guys, the fans, to enjoy. And man, it's so awesome that we get to do this, and been feeling extra grateful for it lately. So I wanted to take a moment to just thank you guys, both Kevin and Tyler, and then the fans as well, just for this opportunity to sit down and shoot the shit, man. We've got a really cool episode coming up. Hawkeye Wrestling is Kings, and I think that's probably where we're going to start off.
For sure is. Drake's in his bag. He's in his feelings tonight. He's in that. He must have been listening to some Drake today. Drake on the Drake. If you hear background music or some scratchiness, Kevin's on his phone. He is currently on the way back from St. Louis. Is that correct, Kev? You might not even have Kevin.
Can you hear me?
We kind of can. No? Okay. Well, I'm going to go anyway because we got to fucking spit an episode out. I still haven't eaten my fucking ice cream today for the challenge I'm doing in February. So, the idea moving forward is that the Hawks are going to win the national championship.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
Santos' knee is not actually going to be hurt. It's going to be sprained. It's going to be something that he can rehab and work through.
I don't know about that, but it doesn't matter. We beat the second-ranked team in the country without him. Actually,
it helps. It helps for NCAA points.
Yeah, it does.
It just works different, man.
What weight – do you know at all what weight class Nelson Brands is?
No, I don't. He's a big guy. I think he's 189, 197.
Oh, shit. I thought he was small. Okay.
No.
Because how cool would that be if he was just able to step in and wrestle in the whatever weight class?
I don't really know much about the 133 except for DeSanto. I kind of thought DeSanto was the Iron Man just because, the way he just comes out there, he's just kind of like the Nick Nate Diaz style.
Yeah.
And I love the way he goes out there and does his business. So it really did suck to see him get hurt, man. I'm just hoping the best for him.
Sucks big time. But moving forward, you gotta go next man in, and that's just what it is. If they don't have him, they don't have him. Can't whine about it. The big thing is, and we talked about it on the episode when we brought on Alex Meyer a couple months ago, is this team only loses one or two guys, brings back a stud lineup next year for next season. So Kevin just texts us his pick for the Super Bowl. So when we get to that talk in a second, we can go.
Good man.
And so that's what it is. Hawks are going to win the national championship this year, and then we're going to win the national championship next year. A lot of you have, or a few of you have asked for a wrestling episode where we bring somebody on. Don't know if that's going to happen because we have people lined up.
We have a lot of episodes, man. You guys aren't going to be disappointed. This is a special episode. Like, you guys are just getting one. You guys are going to wake up Sunday morning and bam, there's a pre-Super Bowl episode and a post Carver Madness episode because ChemDog said so.
And a Kevin's fired episode because
he needs to be fired from this podcast.
How many times is he just not there?
He's a 50%er. He's a 50%er, which gets you in the Hall of Fame for baseball, gets you into the Hall of Fame for 3-point shooting.
And gets you kicked out the fucking door after your first week in Iowa football. So,
right.
I don't know. He's a young professional, he claims, but clearly his loyalty and his dedication to the podcast just doesn't reflect it. Regardless, let's start off the Super Bowl pick with Kevin saying that I'm picking Ben Big Head Neiman and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Purple Gatorade for the prop bet. Hate the Gatorade choice.
I do too.
I like orange all day.
Red.
Orange all day on the Gatorade. Prop bets for the Super Bowl are elite. Okay, so Kevin sent us one today. It was George Kittle catches versus Ben Neiman and Anthony Hitchens tackles combined, and
Yep.
it was, I don't know which one was it. It was just whoever had more, right?
It was.
Or was it a?
I think there was a line on like, they were giving George a half a catch, or they were giving one guy I didn't exactly understand it, but I've been teetering back and forth on that one all day. He said he went with the tackles, but
I like the tackles
if
too.
Shanahan is smart like we think he's smart, I think he wants to get George the ball in the Super Bowl, because when George gets the ball, good things happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's just like there have been games even when Kittle dominates though, and it's only like 4 catches. Like his catches mean so much every time he touches the ball. But it just could be one of those games. The Super Bowl is such a they have 2 weeks to prepare. The Chiefs defense is going to have a plan for George. Obviously, this 49ers offense is not like as good as the 49ers offense is. It's not the Chiefs offense. You don't have to spend special preparation time on every single guy on the offensive side of the ball for the 49ers like you do for the Chiefs. So I just
trying to understand their game plan.
Right. And I think that George is going to get a couple catches. I just don't know if the Chiefs and Andy Reid will let George dominate them and be the guy he's been all year. I hope they do, because
I've got George dominating.
Because I personally want the 49ers to win. It's super tough because I don't have an NFL team. If I did it all, it'd be the Rams, and my allegiance to them is 10% more than any other of the teams. It's just a team that I liked as a child. And I want to see Hawks do well. Well, at this point, one pair of Hawks wins a Super Bowl ring, and the other pair of Hawks has maybe one of the most crushing losses in their career.
And that's where I'm at with this whole Super Bowl. I am super fucking torn with this whole thing, because like I'm not super close with Hitch. Love him as a football player, not close with him, man. I'm not sure if I walked up and shook his hand now if Hitch would know who I was.
He'd have no clue who I was.
So, it's one of those things where my loyalty is with Siege and George.
Right.
That doesn't mean I want Ben to lose a Super Bowl, dude.
Right. Like,
so, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I want Ben to – I wish fucking the Chiefs wouldn't have choked it away last year.
Right.
Because then Ben could have his ring, and I could tell him to stop being greedy and let other Hawks get their ring, and I would just be like, bang, bang, Ben. But I can't do that because I don't want Ben to lose the Super Bowl, and I definitely don't want George and Siege to lose the Super Bowl.
I think that I'm in the same boat. We're in the same boat. I want Ben Neiman to win a Super Bowl so bad. Yeah, right? Like they're our kids, right?
Seriously.
I want big head Ben Neiman to win a Super Bowl so bad, and then that'll be great because the Chiefs will finally be able to afford the helmet that they're giving Ben. But
then I also really want George to win the Super Bowl, so that post-Super Bowl second contract extension is just somewhere on the moon.
Yeah, for me, here's what I told. We were driving back in the car from Nebraska because I just got back home from visiting some of my wife's family, and we kind of all gave our opinion, who we wanted to win, who we thought we were going to win, or who we thought was going to win. I said, I think that if they played 100 times, I see it the Chiefs winning about 55 out of 100 times, and the Niners winning about 45 out of 100 times. And so I think if you're like, dude, under your head, you have to put all of your whatever you're worth, which is not a whole lot, down on the winner of this game. Who do you got? I would say Chiefs. But I don't think it's that easy. I think it's literally a pick'em game, and
my mom wants the Niners with points, and my mom wants the Niners money line, kind of.
Your mom is greedy. You're sending her down a bad path.
No, she called me, man.
She's great. I want the Niners to win because I think George's story. I'm a huge fan of stories. And I'm a huge fan of just things working out, and the way George's season has went, and the way, we were talking about it in the car. Like I said, he is one of the top 10, potentially top 5 most marketable athletes
on the planet,
faces of the game for sure in the United States right now. I mean, he's all over the place.
He's all over everywhere, dude.
And potentially the world. I mean, there's Ronaldo and there's a bunch of foreign athletes that obviously, like, a lot of people from overseas don't know who George Kittle is. But in the United States sports world, George Kittle is a top 5.
And it pisses me the fuck off, kind of, because it's cool that he's got all this fame and notoriety, but these famous people and all these people got to stop blowing his phone up so that the guys who knew him before The Rock can get a fucking text back, dude.
Wow.
Because he'll only ever DM me back on Instagram because he actually sees those, and it's not with the 1,000 other messages buried on his inbox.
Yeah.
So I the other day, and I said, hey, man, on Instagram, I was like, hey, man, tried to text you a couple days ago. Good luck. But I don't know, The Rock, you were hanging out with The Rock or something. So good luck from the guy who knew you before The Rock did.
Yeah. I mean, fuck The Rock, man. God, George is so cool. Fuck. But yeah, like, so I was on the internet. I'm trying to do my taxes the other day, just like a normal person. And sidebar screen Google ad is an ad with George rocking some ugly ass glasses. And I put it on my story and I said, I can't even do my taxes and answer my emails without seeing George's ugly face on my computer screen. And he replied back to me and said, like, ha, 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 can't get away from me. And I responded, they better cut you a fat check for that sponsorship. And all he responded was, oh, they did. Oh, they did. George, let me get a piece of that pie, man.
What would it feel like, man?
Oh my God. George,
Nike, the billboard checks, man. He's on billboard.
Now,
you have to pay money to dudes to put their faces on billboards now.
Now, George coming into this season, even with how well he did last season and the sponsorships he got in the offseason, before this season, back circa September 2019, August 2019, TJ Hawkinson and Noah Fant had made more money from the NFL than George Kittle had. Way more, probably. But after this season, George's contract still isn't shit. He's on that rookie contract, but he's probably made 10x what his contract has been worth in sponsorships and ad deals and appearances and all of that shit. That's how good George has had to the start of his career. I mean, most catches as a tight end in 3 years, out of anyone, out of all of the tight ends
in the entire world,
entire world ever. So the story for George, back to what I was saying, the story is so goddamn perfect that he ends this season with a Super Bowl. The story of the 49ers, just the turnaround that they've had since George and CJ got there. And then on the CJ side, the saddest shit ever happens to him. All of Hawkeye Nation knows about it a month and a half or so ago. All the articles have been written. CJ said, it's obviously been the hardest month of CJ's life. There's nothing that makes up for what has happened, but a Super Bowl ring to kind of, cap this season off. And the story would be insane. Ben, I'm sorry, but that big-ass head is going to have to wait for a ring.
I think so, dude. It's bang, bang, Niner gang, isn't it?
Yeah, and
that's no disrespect to Ben, man.
And the Chiefs
Or
are so
Hitch.
good, dude.
No?
No disrespect to Hitch. I actually listened to Hitch talk the other day. He was fun to listen to in an interview. He was talking about George, and I don't remember Hitch saying that many words ever at Iowa. And in one interview for like a minute and a half, he talked more about he said more things about George and more words than I heard him hear in 5 months of him being there. Just an absolute monster at linebacker, born to play football. Hitchens is one of those guys who KF would talk about, Desmond King, Hitchens, a few other guys, that they were just the most naturally talented football guys, just a football guy, you know? And man, it's hard to pick against the Hawks. But like I said, I think the Chiefs win a very, very slight majority of the time. If you play this game out 100 times, I want the Niners to win. Kev said the Chiefs win. I'm going to pick the Niners. I'll say 27-23, even though score predictions are stupid, but I'll give that score as kind of like, you know, that kind of game. And I said it, orange Gatorade on the dump. So that's what I got.
Give me Niners. I'm taking the money line on the Niners. I don't care what the score is.
I just talked myself into the Niners by like.
I'm not even going to predict. Yeah, I'm not even going to predict the score. Don't care what the score is. I'm taking the Niners money line.
Yeah.
And it's bang, bang, Niner gang, red Gatorade on the dump. Probably over on the national anthem because whoever is in the spotlight wants
Demi. Yeah. I think it's Demi Lovato.
She's definitely over.
And she's in an emotional state. She just had a comeback performance on the Grammys. She's super emotional.
No longer addicted to heroin?
Probably still addicted because that's what they do.
Can you ever really dump heroin?
Right. And so she's going over. I think the line was 156.
Oh, that's over by a mile.
Yeah.
I'll empty the account on the over on that.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you're looking for prop bets, all the money, your mortgage, all of your retirement funds, your equity in anything that you have, your rental properties.
On Demi Lovato wanting more than 1 minute and 56 seconds in the spotlight.
She might go over 2 minutes, 56 seconds. She really might. There's a chance. That's all I got. Kevin fucked this whole thing up, right? And I'm so pissed.
I really wish we would have had a better – like Iowa wrestling deserved a better conversation.
Way better.
To be honest, to be 1,000,000% honest, man, this podcast deserves a better third.
Spencer Lee, come on our podcast. Tom Brands, hit me up.
Yeah, man. Can we please get the Brands brothers together after they win the national title?
Oh,
can somebody set that up, man?
Yes.
Who of our listeners knows the Brands brothers really well, man? And who of our Iowa wrestling, former Iowa wrestling guys, you know, anybody that listens to the podcast?
I bet Meyer could hook us up.
Hit us up, man, because we really want to have a conversation with the Brands and kind of pick their mind about what makes their athletes so great, man. Because they just do it over and over again. They're never going to give away their methods, but they can kind of give you a look into the mind of how they train these guys to be unbeatable.
I took Swahili with Corey Clark for 4 semesters. I could probably hit him
I was
up.
a big Corey Clark fan.
Corey Clark, we could have him on the podcast too. We just said it before the podcast. So many people to still have on. We've got people lined up. Okay, tomorrow morning, Walkons fans.
Super Monday for brunch. The washed up Walk-Ons are having a fucking treat.
Treats are coming to the Wash Up Walk-Ons podcast. And hearts don't have stars. Hearts don't have stars.
You can't. You just.
That's it. That's all we got. I hope that you enjoyed this 20-some minutes after I cut the Kevin bullshit out of this. Again, sorry to Iowa Wrestling. You deserve better. Sorry to the fans who wanted to hear more about it. Blame Kevin at KWardy26 on Twitter. Blow his ass up. Everybody go send skull and crossbone emojis to Kevin because and also suggest new third hosts that could be here every time we actually podcast. So that's it from the Walk-Ons. Hope you guys like this short little extra ditty about Iowa wrestling and the Super Bowl. Have a great Super Bowl Sunday. Drink lots of beer, eat lots of wings. As always, Hawks by a million.
And also, it's heart don't have stars, you delinquent.
What did I say?
Hearts. It ain't plural. Heart don't have stars.
Well, there you go. Bang, bang.
Niner gang.